Good morning, everyone!
Good morning, everyone.
Here we are. Another day. Another day. What's new? Last night we finished Gangs of London.
We did.
It was alright. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. It's been set up nicely for a season 2, but I kind of wanted it to have more of a resolve.
Yeah.
In season 1.
They do that a lot though, don't they, series? It's like, they probably know who the villain is or how they want it to end, but if they've been commissioned for a second season,
You've got to keep you hanging.
yeah, they sort of just drip feed you information.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Really fun. Any announcements?
Edgar's fine.
Edgar is fine. We've had a lot of comments on the YouTube video about Edgar. There he is. So we've had a lot of comments on the previous YouTube video about Eddie over here, Edgar. Everyone loves him.
He's great.
He's a crowd favourite.
He is a very characterful cat.
There we go. So yeah, nothing really new.
No, well, I think it feels like a very big deal that we've got a cat in our lives now.
Yeah. A lot of people said it was funny that
Yeah.
the day before we were like, we have no commitments, no pets, no children or anything like that. And then the next day, there's a cat in the house.
We've got a cat.
What we're going to talk about today is a little topic that happens a lot in theatre. It's very popular and it's happened to everyone. Some people are really good at it, from hiding it. Some people are terrible.
Okay.
And I'm talking about corpsing.
Ooh.
For people who don't know what corpsing means, it basically means laughing on stage.
When you get the giggles.
When you get the giggles, and you should be laughing. So this is a message from Amy Goffin, and she's an NHS worker.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
She said she's found routine in our videos. She said, I would love to hear your most memorable corpsing stories.
All of mine centre around Cameron Blakely. In Les Mis and the Addams Family, all of them. I've never known anyone to bring down an entire cast in one go. With like this, just with the slightest thing as well, it will be like saying one word in a slightly funnier voice, or a raise of an eyebrow, or something.
Well, the most iconic one I think from the Addams Family tour, which Cameron did, was this thing where every venue he started trying to do like the regional accent of the venue, and we're in Manchester. And I always had this sort of like weird character that I always do, I've done for years.
Yeah.
And then me and Cameron started doing it, and you started like doing it a bit. And it's basically doing a really over the top Mancunian Manchester accent. So it's like, you know mate, oh yeah, top banana, and all that sort of stuff. Like completely over the top.
Yeah.
And in full disclosure, Cameron's got to do a speech about this like meeting a fox, and he always used to put a little voice on because he's like acting out to be the fox in the box. Not fox in the box, was it?
The fox box.
The fox box problem, whatever it is.
Yeah, conundrum, dilemma, whatever it was.
And he got to Manchester, and we were like messing about a couple of days before with that accent, and he literally just did that accent for the fox in Manchester, and the audience went crazy.
It was like, that scene took about 5 minutes longer than usual because it just slayed everyone. And it's because he's got to do the voice like a couple of times in the speech. So he did it once and everyone went nuts.
Yeah.
But then he has to do it again.
Yeah.
And it was just impossible. And we are sat the closest to him. There's like this big long table at full disclosure at the end of Act 1. And Gomez and Morticia are at the heads of the table. And then next to Gomez is me and you, and it was just impossible.
Yeah,
impossible.
He used to say like a line like just a little secret.
Yeah.
Was his like line, just a little secret, in like the his normal fox like box whatever accent. But it was like, just a little secret, mate. Literally added mate into the script, and everyone was just gone. I was crying. But the audience was like loving it because they were like, oh my god, he's doing like a Manchester accent.
Yeah.
Like, and it felt like we're all in together laughing at Cameron. Cameron like was laughing so much because he corpsed himself. He literally looked to the audience, like put his hand up, like give me a moment. Yeah. And everyone started laughing. That was amazing.
It was so good. There's only like few moments in shows or few people who can get away with doing that kind of thing. Who can like
it's like few
break the fourth wall type thing because everyone's laughing so much.
Yeah, you can't imagine Javert be like, come on guys.
Yeah, give me a second.
Give me a second. Got to sing about stars in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like there are characters, you're so right, there are characters who can like sort of go that extra like mile, whatever.
And that character talks to the audience so much as well.
Yeah. With Gomez, it's such a crazy character.
You've got free reign to do pretty much anything.
And you've got Cameron Blakely, who's probably the most like outlandish,
he's amazing,
craziest like actor out there. It was a disaster meant to happen, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was always going to get to that point where it was so
It got
big.
so much, yeah.
It was amazing. I remember one time, another corpsing story.
Yeah.
For people who know Stephen Ashfield, he's on Broadway at the moment and Mormon, and he did like Jersey Boys and Legally Blonde and loads. He is the master at making people corpse, but he never laughs.
The keeping a straight face.
I cannot tell you how good he is. Like, he's ridiculous. Like, I would love him and Cameron Blakely to be in the same cast. Because it's like, you know what I mean? It's like the two polar ends. The thing is with Stephen though, he can make you laugh. Like, he's so funny. And I can't remember what it was he was doing. But there's this bit, again in Mormon, and we're in these like two lines. It goes like Cunningham, Price, and then McKinley, and all the other Mormons are behind us. And we're watching the African pageant bit. And he's doing something in my ear, like, and I can't remember what it is, but he's just making me laugh. I'm literally gone. I'm like I'm on for like a cover as well. So I'm like really goody two shoes at this point in my life, because I'm like, I'm on for the first cover, like, I'm on for the lead. I can't be laughing. It's really embarrassing if the audience see the lead man laughing. So I'm like, Stephen, stop it. Stephen, stop it. He's like, who's Stephen? Who's Stephen? Like in my ear. He's like, Elder Price, why are you laughing? Like, oh, like just in my ear, and I'm going. And then the MD's in the pit, and he can see it happening. And like at this time as well, I'm really scared of the MD because I'm like, I don't want to upset him.
Yeah.
I want this show to be perfect. Every time I'm on for Price, I want it to be absolutely perfect. And then Kasim's getting annoyed. I'm like, oh my god. So I finish the show, and I'm in my dressing room getting changed. Ring, 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 ring. The telephone goes. It's the MD, the boss man. He's like, Oliver. I was like, yeah. He's like, you can't be laughing like that.
No.
He's like, you cannot be laughing on stage. You're on for the lead and you're pissing yourself, like laughing, and everyone can see you. He's like, if I can see you, everyone can see you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Put the phone down. I was like, oh my god. You know me, like I can't hide laughter. Like
you are the world's worst.
Yeah, I can't. If someone makes me laugh, I've just got that face. Like I always say, like, because I've got quite a big smile, I feel in my head I'm not smiling. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not smiling, I'm not laughing. But then really I'm like,
yeah. I was like, oh, but why are you grinning?
Yeah, I'm not grinning, I'm fine. So I was like, oh no. And then, anyway, long story short, Stephen came up to me and was like, did Nick call you? I was like, yeah, he did call me. He's like, well, he called me as well. You said to Stephen, he's like, Stephen, you can't make Oliver laugh because he will laugh.
Yeah.
You need to stop doing it to him. He was like, do it to anyone else, but you can't do it to him when he's on for Price because it's just obvious. So that was like a little funny story. But Stephen Ashfield is the absolute disaster. Like he's got that face, poker face, and he will be saying things to you, making you laugh on stage. You've got no way out of it.
Oh no. I used to be really good at keeping a straight face until Cameron was playing Gomez. Because with Thénardier, there's like with Les Mis, there are so few moments where you can corpse. Because it's all music, so the music's going to go without you, like whether you're there or not. And there's like, you aren't in control of your own pauses and your own like space, because it's all set to music. So there's like there are very few chances to push yourself. But there was this one moment in Les Mis where I genuinely thought I was going to explode. I genuinely thought I was going to combust.
Yeah.
And it was me and Rob are at the front of the stage. Rob Houchin, he's Marius, I'm Eponine. Yeah. It's their little bit where we're in Paris, and it's like the first time that you meet these two characters. And she's like teasing him, like, hey, what'd you do with all these books? I could have been a student too, blah, blah, blah. They're singing all of that. And then she goes, I like the way you grow your hair. And he goes, I like the way you always tease. And he sort of like gets out of her grip and walks away from her. And she watches him walk away and then turns to the audience and says, little he knows, little he sees. Well, as he walked away, he just slipped. And it was like he did the splits. Like both his legs did that. But his front, because the floor's cobbled, his foot went over the cobble, so his head like bobbed away from me, and I then got to sing little he knows, little he sees, and I genuinely thought I was going to explode. I said it about 8 octaves higher than usual. I was like, little he knows, oh my god, I'm going to die, little he sees. And you know when you try and hold a note with your breath, I was like, sees. I just lost it. Yeah. But the best thing was the whole stage saw it. So everyone's lines for like the next 5 minutes were just trying their hardest not to laugh. It was all through like contained laughter. But I remember turning around and seeing a guy called Lee Dillon Stewart, who was Montparnasse, seeing him like hiding his face in the barricade, but because I could see him, his face had turned like bright purple. He was like this.
Oh my gosh.
He was literally doing that face. I've got it ingrained in my memory because he was just trying to contain it by like puffing out his cheeks, but he'd gone bright purple. It was just amazing. Rob was so unlucky with stuff like that because I remember he fell over another time and it was so annoying, and I really felt for him because he had people in watching. But basically there was the gates of Cosette's house, of Valjean's house, are also the gates for the factory, and the way that they make them look different is they had this like ivy that would like velcro on, but over the years the velcro had just gotten really worn out, so they used to fall off so much, and they're like these big like big slabs of ivy, and one of them had fallen off as the gates had gone off just before One Day More, so we're going into and as they've gone off behind Rob, like say Rob's here at the front of the stage, they've gone off behind Rob and it's fallen off here behind him, so as he ran round for joining with Cosette, tomorrow you'll be worlds away, for that, as he ran round he didn't see it and he just slipped on it and like almost face planted the floor.
Oh no.
I felt so bad for him, but it was another one of those moments where I was like, oh my god, I'm right at the front of the stage and I'm about to sing my big epiphany bit and I'm going to explode.
Because I know Cameron was like notorious for like his stories.
When I first joined my first Valjean, I only had him 3 months because he was moving over to Phantom. It was a guy called Geronimo Rauch, and him and Cameron were just, they were terrible together because they used to really wind each other up. And just before the attack, so before he runs on, Cameron runs on for "This is his lair, I've seen the old fox around, he keeps himself to himself, he's staying close to the ground," and it's all the gang on one side and Eponine on the other watching them. Well, Geronimo used to give Cameron like a challenge. So he used to be like, right, you've got to do this scene as a rock star playing to the O2, or you've got to do this scene as a dog. And it was just, it got to the point where I was like, how are you getting away with this? Because there's like 1,000 people watching this. Because there was one day where he came on and played the whole of it on a guitar. And I was like, stood there going, what is happening? What's going on? This is madness. When he had to be a dog, he cocked his leg and pissed on the gates. Like, it was just ridiculous stuff where I'm like, I can't believe I'm seeing this happen. And there was one day where he just decided to rugby tackle, again, Lee Dillon Stewart, who was Montparnasse. Because there's a bit where I go, just the old man and the girl. And on the just, Eponine like raises her voice and Montparnasse like holds his knife out to like warn her not to do that again. But as he got his knife out to like threaten me, Cameron just went, ah! And just ran at him and like rugby tackled him around the waist, but like took him down. Like it wasn't like a gentle, like, I'm doing this for you and like hopefully the audience won't notice type thing. It was a full-on rugby tackle.
Yeah.
He grabbed him and like threw him to the ground, and the rest of the gang were like, what's going on? It just sort of
Did you not laugh? Or was you just like, what the hell?
I think I was more just like, what is happening? I think I laughed afterwards, but at the time I was like, I feel like I'm the only one in the scene who's like on the ball at the moment because I'm stood on the other side of the stage away from Cameron. Like Cameron can't reach me here, so I need to like keep myself together, otherwise this scene is going to unravel very, very quickly. But it was like every now and again he just had a mad 5 minutes. Like for the most part he was always like, he'd do his show and his show was his show, and it like there'd be a couple random bits that he'd do something silly in. But every now and again he had like a mad 5 minutes where the show was just like no one was safe.
Have you ever tried to corpse anyone else?
No, I don't think I'm not very good at that kind of thing, because I know if I'm the world's worst for not being able to get through telling a joke because I'm already laughing because I know what the punchline is. I'm the same with scaring people. Like when I used to scare Scott, I used to give myself away so much because I was like that.
Yeah.
Like waiting for him, like making noises or like sniggering. He could always hear me. So I'm not good with making other people laugh. I'm also so scared that I'm just going to screw myself over, that I'm just concentrating so much on doing something that's going to make someone laugh. Like it's not a natural thing for me. The only time that I absolutely lost it in Heathers was Jamie saying gel bar instead of the bell jar.
That is funny.
I genuinely, again, I thought I was going to explode. I just wanted to get off the stage because I was like, I can't, I'm gonna laugh and belly laugh.
What about also in Adam's Family with Cameron with the word conquered?
Oh my god, there was this one show where it was just the two of us on stage singing Happy Sad. there were two shows, and it was just impossible because I feel like Cameron knew I could take it. He knew that I wasn't gonna like absolutely die laughing, so something he could like have a play with me,
yeah,
and know that I wasn't gonna be like screwed. But he also knew that we were in a vulnerable position, singing like a really heartfelt song between father and daughter.
Yeah.
So he'd never take it too far. But there were some things that were just out of his control. So he sat on this tombstone, and he sings the beginning, the right or wrong, who's to say, which we should refuse, blah blah blah. He sings like that first bit, and then he goes, da 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 da, love still conquers all, and then he goes, it even conquered you, my little Attila. He says that, and there was this one night where he went, it even conquered you, my little Attila, and it was his eyes. He just he did this like wide-eyed look at me, like I know what I've just said. Conquered, and that was it. We were both. I could hear in his voice his like throat tighten up for the next bit. I'm feeling helpless. Hear his like throat closing up, and I was like, I'm holding my crossbow like shaking. Like you could see that I was losing it. But there was also one night where the wires on the crossbow were just like elastic shoelace, that sort of like thick elastic shoelace type material. And there was one night where he caught it with his finger and he went doing. He just lost his mind. Like he thought that was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. It was just like it was like such a comedy noise as well. He did it and went at the crossbow, like pulled a face, and again that was it. And he used to do this thing as well, trying to make me, I can see your tail going, am I talking too loud? He also used to do this thing, well I don't know why, but halfway through the song we'd stand and go to the front of the stage, and I'd get the doll out of the bag and give him the doll. And he used to just do this thing, I don't know why, like I don't know where it came from or why he used to do it, but he used to look at my ear and go like that. Like he was seeing something past my head. Yeah. So every now and again he'd just go, and I've no idea why he'd do it, but it used to make me laugh. Yeah. I used to try and do it back, but I feel like I did it more obviously than he could do it. But then again, Cameron was so like, I think he got away with it because he never did anything subtly. It was always like so outlandish that no one could ignore it, so people just thought that was part of the character and part of the show. Yeah. He's genuinely a genius. Genuinely a genius.
Well, that is that. A bit of corpsing, a bit of laughing, a bit of joking, a bit of everything. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wonder if you've got any stories out there about corpsing.
I'm sure.
I'm sure you've got some stories. Right, bye everyone.
Bye.
Be safe out there. Don't do jigsaws in the dark.
Don't.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Don't do jigsaws in the dark.
Don't.
Bye everyone. Bye.